In contemporary Wicca, modern witchcraft, the worship of the goddess is associated with the moon. The moon is personified in three aspects of this great goddess. Now, this great goddess is, in fact, a Greek mother goddess trinity. Artemis Diana. Artemis is, of course, the Greek name. Diana is the Roman. She is the virgin and huntress, the maiden, who rules the earth and represents independence. This is during the waxing moon. Selene is the mother who rules the sky. Selene is nurturing and creative. She rules the full moon. And then, of course, you have Hecate, who is the crone, who rules the underworld and represents wisdom, the waning moon. This is a threefold aspect, a threefold symbol of the goddess, the great goddess, and the moon. The moon and the goddess rules the night and regulates the rhythm of life. And the rays of the moon in this particular spiritual path have power. Now, Diana, remember, that's the Roman name. Artemis is the Greek name, is the classical goddess of the moon and the hunt, the personification of the positive aspects of the moon. For example, self-esteem and fierce aggressiveness. Diana is a virgin goddess and maiden warrior. She is the eternal feminist, the guardian of virginity, who lives in the forest and protects the animals. Diana/Artemis is a very complex Greco-Roman goddess. For example, the many-breasted Artemis/Diana of Ephesus, which is a semi-human symbol of fertility. There's also the warlike Artemis/Diana, which was, of course, the special goddess of the Amazon warriors. Different roles at different times. She is a contradictory goddess, a virgin who promotes promiscuity, and a huntress that protects animals. She represents the variable energies of the feminine. She is the queen nymph in one form, an elemental force of nature, formless and free, who kills any man who looks at her. She is also the lady of the beasts, a power or force that assures their individual deaths and also assures the survival of the species. She's a type of invisible game warden who travels with a bow and arrow, a quiver full of arrows, and kills anyone who hunted pregnant beasts or their young. Diana/Artemis rules reproduction. She rules sex and birth. She is the force of creation. Mother Artemis, Mother Diana, had a vast, rich temple in Amazonian Ephesus, a massive statue with a huge torso that is ringed with breasts, multiple breasts. Her head is surmounted by a turret crown. The Amazons built this beehive-like temple to her around 900 BC. And of course, it was considered one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Now, inside this beehive-like temple was a smaller statue known as the Black Diana / Black Artemis, on which was implanted a magical stone. Now, the cult of Diana / Artemis flourished throughout the Mediterranean region from the Bronze Age into the Christian era, into about the 5th century A.D. She was honored in rituals all over Greece, ceremonies that were both varied and popular. At Ephesus, at her temple, her beehive-like temple, she was honored and worshipped by chaste priestesses known as the Malazi, which means bees. She was also worshipped and attended to by eunuch priests. These eunuchs castrated themselves in order to be closer to the goddess. The Amazons would worship their war mother with a circle dance known as the Estasia. This is amid the clashing of shields and swords and the stomping of battle-clad feet. Now, in Sparta, the worship of Artemis/Diana featured orgiastic dancing. This was known as the Corinthalia. The nights of the full moon were the most popular festivals to Artemis/Diana. They were filled with revelry and anonymous sex. Now, the Romans take over the temple, this beehive-like temple of Artemis Diana at Ephesus, circa 146 BC. The Latins have their own sanctuary to Diana/Artemis on the Aventine Hill in Rome. Now, Roman Emperor Theodosius, who is a Christian, Christianity becomes the official religion by this time, closes the temple at Ephesus circa 380 AD. Now, the early Christians hate the cult of Diana, and they destroy the Black Diana statue. They smash it to bits in 400 AD. As late as the 6th century AD, the Dianic cult still flourished in Europe, but with slow Christianization, Diana/Artemis becomes associated with Satan and evil. She becomes the patroness of sorcery, who leads the witches' procession and rites. Now, these processions were not known during the Greco-Roman classical era, but grow out of Germanic Norse mythology and are linked to the Wild Hunt. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Wild Hunt is a nocturnal spree of ghosts and spirits who ravage the countryside. The church clerics substituted Diana, who was a familiar goddess, for the lesser-known Germanic Norse goddesses, Hulda and Berta. These goddesses were sometimes the leaders of the Wild Hunt, and they were linked by the Christian church to followers of the devil. Church canon law, the canon episcopi, circa 900 AD, reinforces this concept of Diana/Artemis as a demon who leads the witches. Diana also becomes associated with Herodias, the wife of King Herod. King Herod, of course, executes John the Baptist. Herodias takes on aspects of a demon and is condemned by God to wander through the sky forever, but allowed to rest in the trees from midnight till dawn. She is linked to Diana. There is evidence of this, that an organized cult of Diana existed during the Middle Ages into the centuries of the witchcraft persecutions and Holocaust. This cult of Diana is, of course, the role model for the Dianic tradition of feminist witchcraft. All right, let's move on to